heard him, didn't you?
I heard him. It's like he heard
me say,
recording.
I'm recording. And he said, he does not care. He said, what live show? I don't care about none of that.
He said, break a leg, mommy. That's what he was saying.
I'm going to let him in so he won't be interrupted. Hold on. Bro, you know you're not supposed to be in here for real. Don't get in trouble. No, we're not doing this. Okay, maybe we are. Come here. Oh, goodness gracious, you're so big and heavy. Oh, goodness gracious. Goodness gracious. Say what's up to the folks before we start the podcast. You got any words? It's your chance. Get
what's
it all
up,
out.
Turbs?
What you got to say?
He camera shy. Look at it. He's like...
He's sniffing. He said, what's going on up in here? Heard y'all got some of that good stuff happening. Okay, I'm going to put you down now. I got to go make this money. You stink. I don't like how you smell. Okay, all right. Play me my theme music. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Daddy Daughter Dishes podcast. My name is
3D.
Kiera, and we are here with my lovely co-host,
BJ the Daddy.
He is the daddy. I am the daughter. And this is the Dishes, episode 28.
28. Man, we getting on up there.
It's really been a long time coming. We're gonna be like 50 before you know it. I feel like we say this every episode, but the more we put out new episodes, the more it's just like, what? That's crazy. We really got a podcast.
We one step closer. We've become a weekly staple in people's lives.
We have, and that's how does that make you feel?
It feels good. Like, okay, I've said it before how I really look forward to recording this podcast with you every week. But I know for a fact that there's some listeners out there that they really like look forward to hearing us or viewing us on the YouTube page, looking for what we put out every week. And it makes me feel impactful, like we having an impact, a positive impact on some people's lives.
Absolutely, I understand that sentiment because that feels just. My favorite is when people they text me while they listening, and so I'll just get a random text that'll be like, "Oh, blah blah blah," and I'm like, "Oh, you're listening to the episode?" Because I'll be like, "What are you talking about?" Or like Lamia will text me and be like, "Yo, your dad is hilarious," and I'm like, "What did my dad do?" And then I'll hear, I'm like, oh, okay, you listen to the podcast. But like, it's so cool. Yeah. And then, hearing my lady friends talk about like how it's helped with their work through some of their daddy issues. And then even my guy friend, shout out to Steven. He actually, I meant to share this the other day. He shared with me that like our podcast helped him get closer with his dad. Like they had like a little riff. And this summer, they've been making like major efforts to reestablish that father-son connection, which I think is just, how I feel about parent-child relationships. They do something to you.
That's just pure dopeness. That's pure dopeness. And that's the way God designed it. That's why he designed for us to have parents and stuff. Like, you're supposed to
it's supposed to be like that. But, God did design it one way. But then the world said, hey, I know he has a plan, but we also have a plan, and that plan involves splitting up your household and making you feel some type of way about your parents and making your parents feel some way about your children. But I like that our efforts allow people to hold. We hold that space for folks. They come here.
That's right.
They know that
this is a safe place for you
on a serious tone
for daddies.
Yeah,
for daddies. Daughters, sons, mothers, all of that. Like, we just want to be a good place where y'all can come, maybe get some uplifting information, get a good laugh, and let you know that, stuff ain't always going to be peaches and cream. Like life provides challenges no matter who you are, no matter what your position in a relationship is, whether it's with your parents, whether it's with your siblings, whether it's with your significant others. Like you're gonna have ups and downs, and the key to it all, man, I think personally, is keeping those lines of communication open. And as long as you guys can, as long as there's space made available to have those tough conversations like we've talked about in previous episodes, it might take you some time to find a place to get there to where you can have those conversations. Because once you get past those conversations, things seem to lighten up quite a bit, at least in my experience. So,
Like
yeah,
we
we
said
want to be
before,
that. We want to continue to be that.
Yeah, the tough conversations be like the biggest. That'd be the peak of the struggle hill or the struggle mountain. So you get to that tough conversation,
absolutely.
and there might be a few more valleys and peaks that you got to go over, but ultimately, at some point, you got to come down from that mountain, right? And
absolutely.
So when you come down,
and
you can listen to us on the way down.
Part of it is, if you think about it, part of it or a lot of it is the internal struggle that you're having with self.
Mm-hmm.
It ain't necessarily even what you have going on with that other person. It be that voice, that battle that you have going on inside of you. Once you can conquer that or manage that successfully or consistently, you can move on in life a lot smoother. So yeah, just a little nuggets.
Now we starting off with a third. Y'all, we gonna send the invoice to every listener. Y'all send us $20 for this therapy session. But it's Sunday when we're recording. We're fresh out of the second string of football games today. How have you been since the last time we spoke on this recording platform? It's only been
good,
a few days.
Like, it's only been a few days, so there ain't really a whole much to cover, which is great because I ain't really had a whole lot going on other than being out here in Texas. I seen a rattlesnake the other day.
Oh no.
A gray fox. What else we see? A couple of deer. I don't know how the animals. No, because when we see them, we like the few deer I've seen have run like I've been driving a crane truck from structure to structure that we're working on. Mm-hmm. And sometimes we have quite a bit of distance in between structures. So the few deer I've seen have like shot out in front of the crane truck while I'm driving. So it's a wonder I didn't run them over.
I was about to say, have you been eliminating the deer species out there?
No,
are you contributing to
I ain't big on killing stuff just to be killing it.
Yeah, no.
Unlike some other people I know. But we have seen, we saw what we think it was an albino coral snake. We saw it. And then...
Now, who knows enough about snakes to be like, I think that's an albino coral snake? Who said that?
The snake looked albino and it had the rings like a coral snake. So we just put two and two together.
Oh, y'all paid attention in science class. Sound like that. I still don't know.
That's an albino coral snake.
Well, shout out to the albino coral snake.
But them rattlesnakes, you cannot mistake a rattlesnake. And we saw one of those the other day. What else we saw?
Here's a random question. How close are you with your team? If one of your brothers got bit by a snake, would you suck the poison out of him?
That's funny you say that because we actually had that conversation.
Because I would suck the poison out for the people I care for. Now, if I didn't care for you, I would just give you a look until you stop asking me.
Like I said, they better hope that helicopter can get out and tell where we at because we be like 70 miles from the nearest hospital. And I don't even want to talk about it because we all talked about it. We just kind of looked at each other like, y'all gonna be some dead motherfuckers if y'all get bit by a rattlesnake.
So we just gonna pray that nobody gets bit by a rattlesnake because they ain't even worked out the solution, y'all.
Do not disturb the wildlife. Leave the wildlife be. Yeah, we leave the wildlife be. We actually, you know what? It's fun. One of the guys did get bit by a little snake. Matter of fact, I forgot about that.
What the hell?
It wasn't a poisonous snake.
Oh, okay.
But he went to he went to pick up something. It was around like he was picking up a cardboard box or something, and something latched on his glove, and he was like, "God!"
Oh no! See, he
and I was
me.
in the air. So I was in the air working, but the guys in the other crane basket, they had boomed down. They had went back to the ground, and they was. I'm like, "What's going on?"
And, he said,
but I was
Lord,
busy
what's
working.
happening? Yeah.
I didn't find out till later that night what actually happened. They was like, "Yeah, such and such." Yeah, I'm like, "What? What are you talking about?" They was like, "You didn't know?" I'm like, "Nah, dude, I was too busy doing other things. I was doing other things. I be in work mode, man. When they say it's time to work, I'll be ready to get the shit done because it's hot out here, man. It's hot.
I bet.
It's warm. And it's like I want to get back in the truck and air conditioning, drink some water, and just relax. But yeah, the little wildlife adventure. Saw a couple of jackrabbits out in the middle of nowhere.
Jackrabbits?
Oh.
I might have to Google some big of these animals.
These are some big rabbits. Big rabbits.
Everything's bigger in Texas.
Just work. That's what they say. That's what they say. Yeah, we got what else we had going on? The speed limit out here on the 2-lane roads is 75 miles an hour.
Holy moly! 75. So you be 75. Pushing a good 97, don't you?
We ain't gonna talk about that, but let's just say we narrowly avoided a traffic citation the other day when we was coming home. I mean, we got pulled over, but we didn't get a ticket.
Who was driving?
A coworker.
Non-colored.
Why?
Because you said you didn't get a ticket.
Oh no! We didn't get a ticket.
You didn't think about it. It might have been. He might have saved y'all. There's a whole skit out there about that. Quick, let's transform into our. It wasn't like that.
No, because it was 2 of us, and we still didn't get the ticket.
He didn't say, "Are you good today, sir? You need any help?"
No, he was cool. He was just like, it was weird because he didn't clock us. Like, he don't really know if we were speeding. He just knew we passed a bunch of people so out here you have a 2-lane road, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then every few miles, one of the lanes will go to 2 lanes. So and it'll be a passing lane.
Okay.
And you got the single lane going the opposite direction.
Mm-hmm.
So, we get out there and you trying to ease along. And by the time the passing lane get ready to end, you know how people are. They just want to ride beside you. So when that passing lane get ready to end, you kind of got to speed up a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
So he was a couple cars ahead of us. And he saw us, trying to hurry up and get over before that lane ended. He moved his ass on the shoulder, let us go by, then got in behind us, and then hit the lights on us. But he didn't never put notes what we was going over, if we was going over, because we didn't figure we was going that fast because the cruise was set at 77. So,
yeah, you might be going like 83, 84.
Not much. I mean, it's Texas. I was like, we've been out here for 2 weeks. We ain't seen the Texas State Trooper. And today, his ass out here lurking around.
Today he did.
We saw him. Yeah. But other than that, watched a little football today. Got up on my day off. Went to the grocery store. Made a few groceries. Came on back. Made some groceries. I did my laundry last night, so I ain't have to do laundry today. Made some groceries this morning. Cooked me some pancakes, eggs, and turkey sausage for breakfast.
Ooh.
And I just been laying around watching football most of the day.
I sound like I would bet 75% of America's Sundays, because we did pretty much the same thing, except I cooked breakfast potatoes and We had groceries delivered yesterday because it was we getting some of that hurricane. Well, we got some of that hurricane, and
A little rainy
it
out there.
it was a lot of rainy. We was under flood warnings, and of course, I went out because I said I need something to do. And as the temperatures dropped, and I woke up and I said I'm feeling like chilly, so I was like, oh, that means it's fall, so I should start decorating the house. So I went to Kirkland's home decor store and I got me some stuff
Bought a
for my
pumpkin.
house. I bought a pumpkin with an L on it, and it's got a light in it, a little tea light. And I got some little mini pumpkins that I got a table runner, and I got something else too that I was like, ooh, I can't wait to share this. What was it?
You just out
Oh, a
there decorating.
blanket. I got a nice blanket. But yeah, while I was out, man, two things. It was raining really bad. People here cannot drive. And I'm amazed at how reckless people drive when a car can literally kill you. Like, I watched so many people. It's rain, like low visibility rain. Like it's raining and it's dark. I mean, not dark, but it's like cloudy. Like it's raining. People ain't got their lights on. This one lady had to be pushing a good 90 on the highway where the speed limit is 55. And I saw her hit that water, and I don't know how she did it, but God was watching over her. Then I watched somebody straight up ignore a red light. They won't turn right on red. On it, you know how our highways are. We got you can't turn left, so you got to do the U-turns and stuff. The main highway. That this lady, she is ready to turn right on red. She ain't yield. She ain't stopped. She didn't even hit brakes. She pulled right on out like it was not a highway of cars coming. And all these people, literally this truck, I saw him, like I said, this is about to be so bad. I felt like everything just slowed down. This big semi truck was burn, burn, and he pressed his brakes, and then everybody pressed their brakes, and man, they probably honked at her for a good 10 miles because I said, I don't even know if she realized how close she was to dying, because that would have been bad. But yeah,
she probably was on the phone.
I wouldn't put it past her. But yeah, so that was yesterday. It's been cool. So and it's getting darker earlier. I don't know how I feel about that.
It always gets to be a little bit, I don't want to say depressing, but it seems like it brings people down.
Seasonal, yeah, it has that seasonal affective disorder. SAD is the acronym.
Yeah,
but when it gets darker, people get a little more upset, a little sadder. I am one of those people.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people are some of those people. So just take care of yourself. Get you some like lamps. They have like a daytime imitating lamps that'll like give you the feeling that it's still a little bright outside. Take care of yourself. Drink some tea.
Solar powered people.
Do you yeah, because we are a sun. So when there is no sun, I get like a little flower and I wilt a little bit. Do you feel any effects of that ever?
Oh, absolutely.
I know you was talking about a little bit of not the depression part, but
when the days get shorter and the nights get longer, it's like all I want to do, like after work, I don't want to do nothing but take a shower and go to sleep. I don't want to do nothing else. Like, when it's sunny outside, I'll bounce around a little bit, be a little active. But when you go to work and it's dark, and then when you get off work and it's dark, it's like, man, look, when I get to the house, it's sleepy time. I don't want to press golf, $200. I don't want to cook nothing. I don't want to even hardly eat. I want to take a shower. I want to go to bed. That's it.
Yeah.
But yeah, it does. It has affected me in the past, and I'm sure it's going to affect me some. Well, with this year, I don't know. It might be a little different because, I'm out here in Texas right now. And like I say, when we finish this job, we're supposed to go to California. So I don't know. It may not have that effect on me this year till I get back to the Midwest. We'll see.
Well, we'll see. Well, what you got for me today? Because you sent me a list of your talking points. So let's dive into it, bud. What's on your
Well, I
heart?
mean, where we want to start?
Let's start with
Or
the separation anxiety.
yeah, like I mean, kind of touched on a little bit last week in the last episode about how I'm getting a little bit older and how not because I'm getting older, because I've gone through some therapy and done some work to try to make myself a better man, better individual. I have begun to appreciate my relationships and my people that I hold close to me more.
Mm-hmm.
And being that I'm 2 weeks now gone from visually seeing anybody in my core group, my children, like physically, I've noticed that, it's affecting me a little bit more than what it used to. I'm not going to sit here and say I'm depressed or anything like that, but the idea of missing my people, it's become a bit more prevalent in my psyche, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And so, I just kind of wanted to touch on that. Like, I haven't seen you in quite some time physically since what?
Since we moved. Just about.
Yeah, since we came out, me and Tanya come out there and help with the move and install the ceiling fans. Hell, that's been a minute. And like,
because those ceiling fans are dusty now.
I saw Mari the day before I left. I think it was the date. That Saturday? No, it wasn't that Saturday. It was the day it took Uncle Bob for his surgery. I think it was that Thursday, maybe.
That was a minute ago.
That Thursday before I left to come to Texas. And one of them days, but it was after the day we rode with Uncle Bob up to have his surgery. When I came back that evening, took Mari, met your mama. Your mama met me with Mari, and we got a bite to eat. And because I wanted to lay eyes on Mari before I left.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been missing her. And like I said last week, she's been sending me texts, updates on her days at school and a little bit more frequently than usual. And so that's also had me in my feels a little bit, just, missing my baby girl.
Oh.
So yeah, just wanted to touch base on that and see if you had any tips for me, or if you know any techniques or anything a person could do to help overcome
separation anxiety.
That little bit of sadness that comes along with those kind of things.
Yes, come to the sad queen. I have all the advice, all the tips, because I am a sad ass bitch. So I
ain't taking no damn medication though. I'm just telling you now.
I'm not gonna tell you to take no meds. It don't help with
because y'all that medicine. I know it don't help with nothing.
Hey, you're not gonna get up here and talk bad about my medicine.
And then you gotta
my happy pills.
Take something else to take care of a side effect.
That's the wrong. You taking the wrong kind. You taking the wrong kind. You need that good Zoloft, Wellbutrin combination in your life. You'll be the happiest person. You'll be living a good life. You'll be, on them commercials where the people be like running through fields and shit. They be like, yeah, they're so happy.
Yeah, but they ain't telling you about that liquid that won't keep falling out their butt from the medicine.
Or the sweats that they wake up in. It's me. I'm that person. But yeah, so I mean, I've experienced separation anxiety probably since like college, I would say. But I don't know if there's any like actual thing, because I mean the anxiety is from being away from people. So like, of course, the solution is to go see those people, but that's not always the most feasible solution. But I think that first of all, acknowledging the separation anxiety is important, because it can be easy to be like, I'm fine. I miss y'all a little bit, but I think it's important to tell people who you are missing that you miss them, because then a lot of people will like make an effort to reach out a little bit more, or just add a little bit more substance to the conversations that you do have, so that, you know, when you miss them, you feel less, you feel like you walked away with like a little more, so you have a little more to last. But that's where my love for like taking pictures and keeping recordings and videos and stuff, that making those, capturing those memories that we do share, that's when those kind of come in. Because anytime that I get some sort of anxiety, I will always go back to, you know, some of our good moments. Like for Mommy and Mari, I'll go back to when they were here visiting, or to there, something came up. We was in the store. I don't know. Mari put it up for my birthday. I don't even know where we was at, but me and Mommy and Mari was dancing in the store. I don't remember that, but it's a video of us dancing in the store. And so now that's like one of my favorite videos to go watch. And then with you, like the Father's Day videos, people still be liking those when you popped up on Mr. Chris. And so just like watching those, and what we like putting up the shed and building that, like just looking at those memories. And then really just like making that mental to do, to be present when I am with those people next time, like to be in the moment, but to also remember to capture the moment. When, especially like with my friends, like when I see like Lamia and Bree, I'm taking all the pictures. I'm recording everything. I'm the one with her phone and camera out, because I like to have those memories. So that's really helpful for mine.
That's funny.
Separation anxiety.
That's funny you say that about the pictures and stuff, because I have found myself when I'm in here like early in the morning or right before I get ready to go to sleep, I've been scrolling through old pictures quite often. And I think my favorite picture is the one, I know there's a picture your mama took of, I was asleep and Mari was laying up on my shoulder, and you was laying on my belly, and we all was asleep.
We was knocked out.
And I come across that picture. And I was like, oh man, that's me and my babies. And that picture is like has become my favorite picture here lately. Favorite picture to look at. Also, me and Mari took a picture when we went to Top Golf here recently. There's a nice picture of me and her that I got that as one of my lock screens on my phone, because shit, we looking like damn twins on the picture.
That's how we look like twins in one of the hockey selfies we took that come across my memories quite some time. We look.
That's another one that I've got at the forefront, is the when we went to the hockey game, the three of us together. So yeah, man, it's like that's how I've been trying to cope and trying to reach out more, and just I was going to ask you this. What you think about this? How do you deal with? Do you have I ain't gonna say issues, but do you have thoughts on, like, do you get feeling bad? Like if you missing somebody and you don't want to, and you know that person is missing you, but if you don't want to talk about it too much because you don't want to get down at the thought, because you really don't know when you might see that person again.
So do you like talk about it with them?
Yeah. We talk about it, but it's like you kind of tread lightly on the missing stuff, because you don't want to be on the phone crying and shit.
Look, kicking feet. I miss you so much.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, totally. I did a long distance relationship in school with CJ. That shit was trash. I would never do that again in my life. I mean, I would with him, but I would nobody else. We will always have it. For me, it would always be triggered to, like, after, like, if I had a rough day, that person I go to talk about my rough day in person, if they're not around, I'm like, what the fuck? Like, what I'm supposed to do? Like, I don't want to call them with my problems, but I'm sad and I need to talk, and they're not here, and I don't know. But yeah, we used to do that quite often. I can't say I didn't used to harp on it, because I did. That was. It's been 3 months and 2 weeks and 7 days since I saw you, and I can't afford a train ticket right now. But I think it's just, I think that's one of the things too that makes me like really excited, though, because like, like when I see you, I'm like full of like all this, I miss you, like, so I know it's gonna be a good time. That's when we really used to plan like a lot of our. We used to plan a lot of our like, I can't wait until the day when blank, and then like it's not something we really thought about until recently. Like we'll be sitting in the bed, and I'll be like, this is a moment that we wished for. Like
we wished for.
We used to really be like wishing for these moments, and like waking up next to each other. I'd be like, I used to really want to do this, and now we just do it. That's weird.
Now we just doing it.
But just, I think that making those types of, not even like super like close plans, like, we need to, I can't wait for the day we do XYZ. But I think it's important to talk about like future activities and stuff that you want to do. Like for us, I know one thing that we've done, I doubt he still has it, or I might have it, but we made a bucket list once of like things that we want to do. And it really gave me just something to look forward to when we weren't with each other. I would be looking like, okay, so what are some things I want to do next? Like, how can we plan for this now so that when we are ready to do it, we just go do it when we do see each other. But yeah, that's I don't know if I have any advice for that. Like I said, I just...
No, I mean, you ain't necessarily got to have any advice.
Not advice,
sometimes you just got to have conversations to make sure. We kind of talked about this before we start recording. You want to have rationally thinking people bounce stuff off of rationally thinking people to, help you just kind of navigate what you might be going through at the time. So, this is daddy, daughter dishes. So, we bounce stuff off of each other.
28.
And we just take what you might have done to navigate your little river, and I might take some of that and combine it with some stuff and navigate my little river. Absolutely.
I'm sure you will, and I'm sure you will find it extremely helpful. Just really fast, you just triggered a whole thought in my head. You
What's
said
that?
we bounce stuff off each other. So this past week, so me and my coworker Sydney, I think I might have mentioned this on here, but me and my coworker Sydney and my friend Brittany, who's no longer my coworker because she got a new job. Shout out to Brittany.
Right.
But we've now started doing this thing where once a month, someone chooses from the group a new restaurant that, well, it doesn't have to be new, but just a restaurant that, we want to share with the others. And so last week was our week for that. And Brittany had chose this place that me and her really like to go to. So we brought Sydney, and we had like our dinner, and we was sitting and chatting, and we was just, having a good old time. And so my pick is next month. I'm really excited about that. But we were having a discussion because something happened that had been sitting on my heart, where I was like, I just gotta ask if anybody else feels the same way, because I need to make sure. Because this is what happens when I have a thought like that. It takes a minute for me to validate my own feelings, right? Because I'll be like, you tripping. I'd be almost gaslighting myself. I'd be like, you tripping, like, that ain't what that was. You read that wrong. And then if it sits on my heart for like more than a weekend, I'd be like, okay, I might need to talk this out a little more. And so this had been sitting on my spirit for a good like 3 weeks. So my I'm not gonna divulge too many details just in case they listen. I don't know. But so fuck it. They did it. I don't care. If she addresses me, she does. So an ex-coworker of mine, she left our job, and she had a going away happy hour. I almost hope she listens so that she can bring this up to me. So at her going away party, my friend Brittany She no longer works at the company, but I was working with Brittany before she left on this ambassadorship program for our job. I was helping her brand it. And so this person was her ideal person of what she was trying to brand this program to be. So it's like the person on her mood board, right? And she's telling me how much she really thinks this person is awesome. She's like, I love how they carry themselves, blah, 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 blah. So this is the person that was leaving the company. So I had asked that person if I could invite her, Brittany, to her going away party. Because I'm like, she's spoken highly about you. She hasn't really met you, but she knows it, And she was like, yeah. Yes. And okay, this is the very important part. I asked her because y'all didn't raise me that way. You don't just invite nobody to somebody else's stuff without asking. Right. So I made an effort to ask, and I asked in front of someone else who was there as witness. And this was very intentional on my part. Because if one thing corporate has taught me, cover your ass with a CC or another witness, whatever. So I asked, she said yes. So I was adamant about my friend showing up. My friend shows up, and apparently someone else who was there had some sort of beef with my friend that I was kind of aware of, but we all grown, and I don't think that that's something you would bring up in a public situation like that. So I thought that we could all be grown-ups and be cordial, Well, apparently that person told the person whose event that it was some slick remark that my witness heard. Right? So my witness heard it. So I didn't notice until later. So I don't know that part. But I do watch the person whose event it is stare my invite up and down when she says hi and congrats on your new job. And she's really excited for her. She looks her up and down like
she want to do something to her.
Not even that. Just I want you to know that I'm looking you up and down. I want you to know that I'm trying to make this uncomfortable. So I clock it. And I don't say nothing. Because I in my head, I'm like, did I see that or did I imagine that? Because I might have just imagined that. But with that in mind, I was like, okay, in case that did happen, let me go not make this uncomfortable for my friend. So let me kind of step in the middle and, be that buffer. Exactly. Some of that negative energy, because I was going to go anyway. So I was like, let's walk on out of here. And so, didn't say nothing about it. Housewarming comes, and I bring it up to my witness, because Brittany's there too. But I'm like, I want to run this by my witness before I bring it up to make sure that I ain't tripping. I barely mention it, and my witness eyes get big as hell. She said, I have been waiting to talk about it. And of course we're drunk. So I'm like, okay, wait, put a pin in it, because we're going to talk about it later, because I need to know if I wasn't tripping. So then we bring Brittany and we ask her the same question. She said, oh my God, I thought Key was trying to set me up. I thought Key was trying to, and I said, I would never do that to you. And she said, I know. And she gave me a hug or whatever. But we have our discussion at dinner this week. And I just wanted to hear your thoughts, because there is a trope in this corporate world about whether aunties, quote unquote aunties, that's what younger Black women will call older Black women who they see as not inspiration, but just as someone that I respect. It's respect.
I respect you. Yeah.
So
there's calling people on.
Exactly. So there's a trope in the corporate world of aunties being the most what am I looking for? Being the biggest hurdle for the younger Black women in the workplace. So where, you see Black women and you say, oh yeah, they all, they should always be looking out for each other. But instead, what a lot of young Black women will experience is the older Black women not even looking down on them, but just not holding that space that you would. Yeah. And so I wanted to know, why do you think that is? Because I know when it's time for me to be auntie, everybody's gonna love me. Not because I want to be loved by every young Black girl, but I know how intentional I'm gonna be about holding that space. Because, okay, real quick, here's my ideal how that scenario could have played out otherwise. Oh, add on. It didn't help that she pulled me to the side after and was like, I'm going to get you for inviting her to my party.
Who, the lady that was being admired by your friend? By your invite?
Because she said she didn't like her.
After you asked her, and she said,
yes,
she didn't like her enough to say don't bring her, but she didn't. That don't make no sense.
So, and then that threw me off because then I'm in my head. I said, I know I asked you if I could invite her because I'm not just.
And you had a witness.
And I had a witness. And so I had to make sure it was like, yeah, you definitely asked. You asked. You didn't tell. You asked like multiple times till you confirmed. I said, okay, so I'm not tripping. So I just feel like that situation could have went a totally different way. Even if you or your guest did have some sort of beef with my invite, I feel like that's nothing that should have been even shown or displayed at that time. It's a whole nother thing to pull me aside, speak to me in private and be like, I know I said that. I thought, I might have thought she was another person. I thought that was somebody else. Like, I don't know. That really just messed with me. It messed with my whole.
Even then, though,
it messed with me because that's somebody I admire too, and I'm like that kind of attitude that just kind of conflict in my. So let me bounce it off you. What are your thoughts on that?
So okay,
I tried to tell the story unbiasedly, so like there was no, no feelings in there. I literally just told what happened.
I don't understand that behavior from people because it don't just happen with women. It happens with men too. Like if you. The part, as far as that situation, if she didn't like that person or didn't know that person or didn't know that person enough to know if she didn't or did like them, why would she tell you it's okay for you to bring her to the party? That's the whole thing for me. If you ask somebody and you making your intentions very clear and they don't, it's not your responsibility to do their due diligence. Like, if she didn't want her at the party, she should have said, well, no, I don't want you to bring her. Who knows, it might have been one of them situations where, she got the little whisper from the other person. And then when your friend when you did introduce or was introduced to her and she gave her the look, she probably formulated that off of what she got from the other lady. It's just a lot of sometimes quote unquote cattiness going on between what seems to be women a lot. I hear about a lot of cattiness. I'm not a woman. I don't know. I hear stories. I see stuff sometimes. And without me being stereotypical, it seems like it'd be true a lot of times.
It is.
But
anybody with eyes can tell.
But to get to the auntie, the portrayal of aunties and uncles and stuff, like if you're in an organization and you got an individual that you're looking up to, or that several people look up to, a lot of people that sit in those situations, they feel threatened for whatever reason. Like them youngsters might be coming for my gig or, trying to be me, trying to replace me. And they don't act appropriately sometimes in those situations. So how to overcome it? Like you said, there's nothing to overcome. Really, you done what you were supposed to do as far as, you asked if your friend could come because y'all looking at this lady in admiration. So you kind of want to celebrate it. We ain't here to cause no problem. We here to celebrate you. What else are you supposed to do? Like, I don't know. I don't know what else you could have done. I mean, your friend, it might have been, it's great that you provided that buffer when you saw the look. You might have probably could have made her, tell her right then and there that, I didn't bring you here on no bullshit. I don't know what the hell that was about.
Right.
But y'all got a chance to talk about it later and y'all are good. So at the end of the day, that's what's important. you're good with your people, it sound like the auntie and her friend, they might have some stuff that they need to figure out. Sound like they might be some witches, not witches, but they might need some do some work on dealing with
talk
people.
through something, because and if the reason is what I am positive it is, it's not a good reason, and it's not a reason that I would make even a show out of showing my disdain for somebody. Like, it's like secondhand,
some petty shit.
Yeah. And the pettiness is valid. What was brought to the reason that person doesn't care for my person was a valid, like, my person had a valid critique of said person's actions, and said person did not like that critique, even though that was a perfect opportunity. It was a perfect learning opportunity for that older person to even be like, oh, that now that you put it that way, I could have done it a different.
I'm gonna let that circulate in my spirit, and I'm gonna do better. When that situation comes up again, I'm gonna do better. Like, that is a great way to approach things. That I have had that happen to me recently. Like, something has been brought to my attention that I've done something to make somebody feel a certain type of way. And this is something that I have been working on diligently. I have been really trying to, instead of like get defensive and point the finger at the other person, I've really been trying to stop and ask myself, what role did I play in this situation to make that person feel the way that I made them feel with my actions? And sometimes you be like, you know what? I could have done that a little bit differently, and maybe that person wouldn't have felt that way.
And that says a lot.
Sometimes you be like,
and then sometimes you be like, what you be like?
You be like, hey,
what you be like?
I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. Like, that's how I feel.
Look, I know that's how you feel. I really
can't control how you process how you feeling, but I don't see. I have searched through what we're talking about, and I don't see where I would move differently. So we just gonna have to deal with how you feeling right now and try to work on it later, maybe.
That should be so funny to me, but I am your daughter, because I'm the same way. If somebody brings something, first of all, I admire when people bring something to my attention, because, like we've talked about before, that takes guts to speak up and be like, that made me uncomfortable. But sometimes I have to be like, sometimes I'll really ask, like, are you being serious? Are you for real? Like, you serious with what you telling me? Because I need to make sure, because I'm going to do a deep dive I'm going to analyze, why I am this way. So I'm like, are you sure that what you're telling me is, like, for real? And it's not like, you're not playing. Because some people,
they'll say shit just to be saying shit.
Just to be saying shit, or because with a lot of people seeking therapy and stuff, some people will, like, joke about, not even like joke like, oh, I'm adamantly being like, therapy don't work, or like, oh, you in therapy, but they'll make like a little joke about like, oh, I'm bringing this to your attention. Like, they'll try and be very, I don't know what the term is, but they try and make light shit. And so we'll bring it to your attention like that, to the point where you're like, okay, are you actually like did I actually really hurt your feelings, or are you just telling me that I did so I can sit here? And so when I feel like that, I'd be like, okay, so I don't know what to tell you. I literally say, I don't know what to tell you.
I don't know what to tell you. Like, I love you, and I hear what you're telling me.
That's all real valid.
What you're telling me.
It's valid.
But I don't see where I could, with what I have inside of me right now, with the information and the tools that I use, I don't see where I would act or say or do anything differently. So let's just go from here and move forward. And I mean,
I know people probably can't stand talking to us.
You can't
you can't do nothing about it. But it's just because sometimes people's stuff do be super valid. And you be like, you know what? Yes, I'm going to go work on that. But then sometimes you be like, you fucking with me. Like, you can't be for real. Especially when you know the things that you will table and be like, you know what, that I ain't finna bring that up to them right now. Like, that is not nothing that I need to even bring their attention right now. And it's like people come with you with some fuck shit. And you like, did you really just bring that into my space? Cause you know, I don't know if you know how I react. Like, I react very visually. I have a very visual tell about a lot of things. So people will bring something to my attention, and I will look you dead in your face, like, are you serious right now? Like, are you fucking with me? Where is Ashton Kutcher? I'm being punked. Because I know you're not. I know you're not bringing this to me right now, like that. I have more feelings to unpack about that, but we can talk about that in another episode. Because I feel like that's a whole have that as a topic. But yeah, you know. So speaking of, I feel like there's a way I could transition this. Hold on, give me just a second. Hold on, let me think. Okay,
go ahead. Take all the time you need.
Okay. Speaking of things you can and cannot control about how people, what they say, what they feel. How do you feel about the ball has dropped? Colorado Buffaloes no longer
took an L yesterday.
They took a big L, man. It hurt. I told Lamia, I said, I'm gonna treat this like I did that last episode of Snowfall, and I'm gonna act like it didn't happen because I didn't want to see that. I said that was so hard to watch because they was just so Oregon was just so big, and they just could not. They was trying. They was just running. I'm like, from the first quarter, I was like, oh my God, this is not gonna be good.
So as a former athlete, there comes a time when you feel like, you know, your team is pretty good. Mm-hmm. And then you run up on an opponent
like Oregon,
who has just a whole different class of athlete.
Just machines.
And you get exposed. So I could give you a prime example, personal example. It ain't even like that my team that I played on was that good. It was just the first time that I stepped on a court and realized that I was in a different class of human beings. Uh-huh. And that was when I was at UT Martin and we went to play University of Kentucky. Mm-hmm. Like up until that point, I just, you know, everybody used to say, BJ, you a big boy. You know, and I pretty much had my way on the basketball court. I mean, I was pretty successful on the basketball court.
Don't be humble. You was that nigga. You was that nigga on the court.
I was all right.
You was that nigga.
But look, I engaged in some good battles with some people that made it to the NBA. So, you know, I held my own on the court. Yeah. When I got to University of Kentucky and my name was called to come off the bench and I got in that game and we lined up on the free throw line, I'll never forget it. And I looked at those guys and I said, y'all some big motherfuckers. Just like that. And they all started laughing because I hadn't seen no human beings that big. Like, I'm not just talking tall. I'm just talking big and fast. Tony Delk. I'll never forget. Tony Delk, he was the point guard for Kentucky. He had the longest arms of I think Tony was like 6'2", maybe. He had the longest arms, and that boy was fast. He was faster with the ball than anybody on my team was without the ball. And I swear the boy could tie his shoes before he bent over, without bending over. That's how long his arms was. And yeah, them guys was just ginormous. And the scoreboard reflected it. I say that to say
I feel that from a volleyball standpoint, too. I'll never forget we made it to, like, regionals. And we walked in that gym, and I said, I'm going to give it my all, but we are not winning. I can tell y'all.
That's all you can do.
Science. We're not winning. These girls are taller than the net. How? And they big and muscular.
Wow.
And we are scrawny. We grew up in cornfields. We know nothing about this.
So I feel like that's what they ran up on yesterday with Oregon. I feel like there's a good chance that they're going to run up on the same thing next week with USC. Mm-hmm. Here's the thing, though. The challenge for me is I expected it. There's so many people out there they're dismissing. We knew, Coach Prime this and Colorado ain't all that and all that. That's just noise. That's just noise that I hope that those players on that team and that organization don't buy into. Mm-hmm. I made a post on Facebook today after Miami Dolphins shellacked the hell out of who they dropped in Denver. The Denver Broncos, 70-20. Wilson. So I made a post. I was like, if I were Coach Prime, I would show this score to my guys and say, hey, this kind of shit happens at every level. Let's get past it. Let's move on to the next one. Because it doesn't matter what level you at. When you go, first of all, there's a chance you're going to have a bad day collectively as a team. Mm-hmm. And there's some days that you're just going to be outmatched. Some games you're just going to be outmatched. You can't win them all. And let's face it, in life, in anything else, you really don't learn something if you're winning all the time. Mm-mm. You got to take an L to learn from something. If you ain't taking L's, you're not making no progress.
The L is for lesson. If you don't take the L, then you ain't got no lessons. You're a winner with nothing learned except how to win. And sometimes that's not the biggest goal. Because they was making a lot of mistakes too. Outside of the guys just being big, where I was like, I think this is a great learning opportunity for them. Absolutely. I mean, anybody would be. All them green and yellow ass people. They did have some nice working uniforms. Was nice. But they was big. They was so big. Mm-hmm. I just couldn't. I watched them all come out, and I was like, I want to turn. Like, I want to watch, but I can't. Like, and then Shadur, I'm like, I feel like I'm watching my nephew out there. I'm like, come on, Neff. Like, keep your head in the game.
I was at work. I
texted you.
Couldn't even get no updates. I mean, you did, but like, I would have tried to pull the game up and watch it, and where we're actually doing the work at, phone service is trash. Like like it's no service. It's spotty at best, and you just be like, man, can't talk to nobody. I hope I don't need to talk to nobody because I'm gonna be shit out of luck out here.
Yes, I will.
But yeah, but I think it's a good test for Coach Prime and his skills. What he can talk to them guys, what he can tell them, how he can keep them together through this adversity. Because it's going actually every game until Travis Hunter gets back is going to be a challenge. Mm-hmm. I feel like it's going to be a challenge.
Especially since they lost part of their offense and part of their defense. Like that's a hit. You lost one person, but you lost two people in the process, you know? Mm-hmm.
And so it's just a little bit of adversity that we'll see how they overcome us. But at the end of the day, I mean, I ain't finna say I'm a Colorado Buffalo fan. I enjoy watching what Deion Sanders has going on with his boys and Travis Hunter and their Colorado team. Mm-hmm. I love to see it, and I'm going to continue to watch and tune in to whatever they got going on.
That part, because I'm the same way. I you know how I've spoken about this on a few episodes ago, just how much coverage they get gives me anxiety for them. Because even like next week,
you know, they got haters.
They got everywhere, bro.
Fox and doing their pregame show
stuff
there.
that they can't control. Like it's not
as far as what they can control. Uh-huh. That's why Deion does so much of recording, because they want to control the narrative coming out of that team. Mm-hmm. That's why they put out so many videos, and they got their own video team, and they're not allowing people from CBS Sports or Fox Sports or ESPN to come in, get a little snippet about the team, and then take it outside the organization and just put it out to the public the way they see it. They want to put out their own message. And some people don't like it, but I think that's fucking genius.
Oh, the way that you just framed that, I love that because it's like an anti smear campaign because like it's very strategic because he knows what's gonna come out, and so he's trying to like counterbalance it because all the like critique and stuff I keep seeing, it's just it upsets me because it feels intentional on the parts of the powers that be, whoever those people may be, right? Like the big noon coverage, they posted about it on Twitter. And of course, Twitter's a cesspool. I say I don't read the replies, but sometimes you can't help it. And then everybody's like, well, fuck Dion. There's other schools that exist. And it's like, why has it gotta be fuck Dion? Why it can't just be, hey, there are other schools that exist. Why? And I think for me, it's that I read too deep into everybody's responses because I'm seeing all these negative things come from people who are not Black. And I know that a lot of what people are saying, well, I feel like, I ain't gonna say I know, I feel like a lot of some people, their negative talk, it has a tiny to a huge gallon full of racism embedded in what they're saying. And so
some of them, they absolutely do.
It hurts to sit in like, I don't know, because I'm like, some of what y'all say, like, yeah, okay, some critique is valid, but some stuff y'all ain't talking about these other college coaches that way, and I'm noticing.
And the only reason that they are attempting to critique Dion the way that they are is because he is a Black man and he is outspoken and he is confident.
They want to see him get his bag and be a nigga so bad.
Like we just spoke about the aunties and uncles in certain positions, there are certain people who feel threatened when a Black man who you really can't dig up nothing negative about him is empowering younger Black minds as well as younger white minds with this attitude that they can believe they can be a part of each other, they can be a family, they can be a team. A lot of people in high positions, they don't want to hear that stuff from regular people. Because you get these people to believing in themselves and believing in each other. Now they getting ready to start confronting you about the bullshit that you're putting out to the people every week. And to a lot of us, the shit already don't make no sense, but you ain't paying us attention because it's just a few of us. But if you get a bunch of us to start asking these questions and be like, hold on, man, why are you mad at me and why I'm mad at you? Mm-hmm. We ain't done nothing to each other. We basically want the same things out of life. It's them motherfuckers up there that's putting out the bullshit. Let's go question them. They don't want that. They don't want that.
And that's not even that's with everything. That ain't even with just college sports. Because
that's everything.
Don't even want to talk about it. You said
it's disgusting. It's actually disgusting.
It is. And to pivot, because you dropped a good transitional point. Just a few people making noise don't really do nothing. But when you get everybody being like, why am I mad at you? Hold on, we want the same thing. Let's look at this bigger person. Leads us to our next point about the strike. The UAW
the United Auto Workers.
The United Automobile Workers are on strike. They started their strike earlier last week, on the earlier part of last week, strategically targeting 3 big auto plants: Ford, GM, and what's the other? Starbright?
No.
We just talked about it. I don't know the people.
Start with an S.
Something with an S. Ain't it Starlink? Stellantis. That sounds like that crazy person coming out of Florida.
That one threw me off because I'm like, what the hell? That's a car.
I'm looking it up right
automotive
now.
brand.
Who is it?
But see, it's the same stuff there. It's like, okay, so the United Auto Workers is basically saying these companies have made so billions and billions of dollars in profits over the last, even through COVID years and even now, but they don't want to extend that. They don't want to share that wealth with.
They don't want to share the wealth.
Not even share the wealth. That's
they
not
don't
even
want to share
wealth.
what we have worked for.
Let's just do the right thing. You know, y'all got more. Some of you executives, y'all generational wealth, y'all families ain't concerned about money. Why you don't want to pay? I don't understand what is the deal with paying people a good livable wage that's consistent with, that will rise consistently with the cost of living. Have any of them motherfuckers been to the grocery store lately?
Because eggs is expensive as hell.
Everything is expensive as hell.
Even the generic brand, store brand is expensive. Like Food Line seasoning used to be like 99 cents, and now it's like $1.99. And I'm like, golly, I stock up on them. Now I gotta.
It's a shame.
CEO, GM CEO, is this a woman, Mary Barra? She makes $29 million a year. Well, that's her salary. You know,
ain't no telling what she getting bonuses and
stock and probably other investments that she got. Like it just
stop for a second.
Nobody needs that much money. First of all,
I don't want to frame it like that. I don't care about nobody making a lot of money.
Nobody needs that. Nobody makes that much money without putting down other people and harboring their hard-earned from them while getting their money in progress. That's what I'll say. So I don't think anybody deserves that much money, because nobody with that much money has got it just by working on their own. They always make it off the backs of people who are not being paid fairly at all. Look at Jeff Bezos, Bill Gates. I mean, you know, and what's her, Mary Barra, Miss Mary Barra,
Walton family. Generations and generations of wealth, and they keep making generations and generations of wealth every year, like probably every damn month. It's just outrageous, some of the money. And you got people
the way
out
they destroy a town when they put a Walmart in towns is amazing. I mean, it's not amazing, but it's so crazy.
It's disgusting. It's pretty disgusting.
They'll destroy a town so fast. And don't care.
Shout out to the United Auto Workers Union for standing up for their membership. I'm a proud member of the IBEW, the International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers. And it's just nice to be a part of an organization that, you know, that looks out for their members. And for a union to say we're going on strike, that means that it's pretty bad as far as the negotiations is going with those companies, because we actually have it in our I don't even know exactly what to call it, but we're not even supposed to talk about striking, because that's just a negative thing.
That's like saying we're finna go to war.
Pretty in the terms of workforce, yes. Yeah. And you really don't want it to get to that point. But at some point you gotta take a stand. People have been taking losses and earning for years. The cost of living has continued to go up. Wages have pretty much stayed stagnant over the vast decades. And it just doesn't make any damn sense, because the people who are at the higher ups, upper echelon of executives and managers and stuff, they make so much money, and these companies make so many millions in profits, sometimes billions. Like all the money that was dished out during COVID, through whether it been PPP loans or whether it been record-breaking sales, because people couldn't leave the house, but they were still shopping. Nobody should be struggling anywhere. Not whether you're an exec or an entry level employee. It just doesn't make any sense. And there's gonna come a time where the evilness and wickedness associated with greed is gonna take a toll on this collective atmosphere. and it
Oh,
ain't gonna be pretty.
I hope that we don't. I hope that I don't live to see that, because I feel like that's gonna be a real ugly day, and I don't know.
It ain't just gonna be a day.
Not a day, a time. That's gonna be an ugly time, and it's. I mean, it's already scary. Like, you talk to some people too, even like, I mean, some of my friends, which we're still early in our careers, but still, I mean, a lot of my friends come out making pretty. We come out making pretty decent salaries, and some of them are still feeling like they need to have a part-time job outside of, which is not, me, I love a good side hustle. Always trying to find different revenues of money is amazing, but
when you
feel like you need to do it, when you feel like you need to in order to live and maintain what is probably a pretty basic lifestyle, it's like, that's sticky, and it's really scary. Like, around these parts too, like, people talk about like all these like development, like land people buying up all these land and putting up like houses and apartments, which here where we just moved is freaking like, it's not sustainable. It's not even sustainable for the infrastructure. So it's like, how can y'all take these offers? And I don't understand, how do you get to a point where you just see past the actual effects your decisions are going to have on people, and you just do whatever gets you the most money?
They don't care.
That, I feel like I would never. I don't.
Some people.
I know I'm not in a position that I have money like that, but if I had money like that, best believe all my people, if I made money off the backs of employees, my employees would be well taken care of. That would not be a question. Y'all wouldn't even need a union. What's up? What y'all need? Y'all need some. Here's daycare for everybody. I'm paying for daycare. Here's health insurance for everybody. I'm paying for health insurance. I don't care if my salary only lets me make $500,000 a year.
Right.
Because GM CEO makes $29 million. And she claimed that meeting the union's pay demands would bankrupt them. Them as in GM. Yeah, how about you take a salary cut, Miss Lady?
Because she ain't taking no cut.
And I feel like there should be checks and balances there too, like from a like government regulation standpoint. Like, is there not?
But then you got that's where.
But then someone has to regulate them, and they're crooked too, which is
because
we just need a redo. How about we just wipe the slate clean? Let's just burn everything down and try again. I think that's great. That's my solution. I'm gonna run for president, and I'm gonna say, burn it all down. That's my slogan.
They gonna burn you down. There's too many people.
They gonna have to find me first.
That's invested. And there's too many people in this country, in this world, that are invested on the general public being either dumb or being poor and broke for this. Yes, it's on paper, it's a great idea. Burn it all down, start all over. But you think about all the exploitation of people, like you said, gaining off the backs of others, and just keep on stomping on them. Even when you're done with them, you just gonna keep fucking pushing their necks in the damn dirt until you get every last bit of life out of them. But you just gonna keep on. Then you're gonna find somebody else to step on.
Gonna find somebody else, somebody with some bright eyes and bright ideas, and come on now.
And that's psych. That is what this place is built on, and that's the unfortunate part. Like, it was
literally built on the backs of our damn ancestors with zero pay.
The way they abolished slavery and then come up with those laws about,
there are air quotes, y'all. If you can't watch, there are air quotes. Y'all are listed there. If y'all don't see my fingers, can you hear them? There are air quotes.
The way the police system was formed, that, now you got these indentured servants who are no longer slaves, but you got to go find them, because if they ain't working, or if they just out wandering around, we going to come up with a crime to charge them with. And I need a group of guys in every town, every county, that's going to volunteer to look out for these people. That's how fucking police began in this country. Like, and in some instances, it wasn't
to stop break-ins. I'm going to tell you that.
They would take the kids as pretty much collateral and lend them out to a farmer or somebody until those kids worked to pay off the quote unquote
That's
debt of their
that they
parent.
owe, like their parents got some sort of asset from said debt.
That free labor, shit, that was the asset. But if that ain't just me talking, y'all can go out there and find that information for yourself. It's but that's how this place was built up, and it's gonna be hard to tear that down. Like that is basically the core. That's the foundation
That
on
is
which
what
this
makes
place was
America
built.
great. When they talking about making it great, that's what they talking about. Just so y'all know.
That's paying your ass little or nothing. I don't care what
Pennies.
color you are. If you're in the workforce, if you look across that assembly line or that power line and you see somebody that ain't the same color as you, they'll let you know it don't matter what color you are. If you at the same earning level or below them folks, they making money off your ass. And they gonna keep making money off your ass. And they don't
Big
care
period.
about you and your family's well-being.
Big period. So how do you know how, like, in situations like that, how, like, you can, is there a way to support those, like, on strike? Like, is there like petitions? Are there funds? Like,
You know
do
what?
you? I feel like there's
I
there's got
know.
to be a way.
I know there are certain like if let's just say there's an auto plant. I'm just gonna throw out an example.
Mm-hmm.
If there was an auto plant in Ullin
Mm-hmm.
and there was the UAW workers ran that plant. Now there may be some IBEW workers at that same plant doing, let's say, electrical work. You know, you got to have electricians
Ooh,
maintaining the. So they may say, you know what? If they on strike, we supporting our fellow union brothers. We ain't working in this motherfucker either.
Oh shit!
So
Nice.
there's been instances of things like that happening. I don't know of ways that you could like make donations or
I'm
something like to
asking you,
support the
like, we
families.
not sitting with an internet search engine right here.
Yeah, I mean,
How to
but we
support
just going off top.
UAW.
Anybody could Google it. Hell, we can let the
Anybody
listeners,
could
they can
Google
go
it.
find that information for
I'll put
themselves.
information. Oh no, they asking me to leave a voicemail. Never mind. That's, y'all better catch up with the times. I will submit a form. I'm not leaving no voicemail to the CEO or GM. Never mind. We'll figure out another way to support, and it'll be in the comments.
Oh yeah,
in the
you could
description.
actually you can do a phone, man. You can do voicemails because I know Joe Madison, the Black Eagle, he does a lot of campaigns like that supporting, and he'll say, "Fuck, overload their damn switchboard, call and leave voicemails," and he'll even have people on there to tell you, like, don't call in being all crazy and leaving cuss words and stuff like that, but leave a nice detailed voice
Hi
message.
there.
Why you
I'm calling to
express
support
my
the
disgust and how y'all treating the
United
workers
Auto
of the United
Workers.
Auto Workers.
I would just
I
like
don't
to
appreciate
say,
it, and I will
I
not be
think
buying another damn vehicle from
I'm
General
switching to
Motors.
Hyundai. Is
Yeah,
Is
from buy
General
a Kia.
Motors, is that Hyundai? What y'all? Never mind, y'all. I'm not gonna let you say what you call them on here, because that is not a nice thing to
What?
say.
Hyundai?
Nope. No. Y'all be calling them rice burners.
No, they're motorcycles. Crash
Rice
rockets is rice
burners.
burners. That's what I've been known to call them.
Well, that's what, because me and Cass was laughing about that when she was out here. Oh, okay, never mind then. No, include Japanese cars or any East Asian made vehicles. Yeah, because we was cracking up talking about her car, and she was like, "Yeah, you know, Dad always."
Yeah, but you can't say when she say Dad.
You know, Dad will always call her right. I'm good.
No, we ain't always politically correct.
We are hardly ever politically correct, but we do not intend on hurting anyone in the process. I think this was a good episode so far. I don't have no reviews or nothing outside of, our general love that we get from our folks, but I do have a good dad joke for you whenever you do.
Told me that I needed to go. She told me to go ahead and get that light because she was tired of seeing the shadow in the picture. So
hair and makeup. I sent this man the link to the light.
She knows that. You don't have to. She knows. I told her. And she told me this morning I need to go to Walmart. They got damn like a dime a dozen was her words at Walmart. I could have got one
They
there.
sure do. They got them. They probably got them. Yeah. You need to just send me the address so I can just press order. I sent it to you because Amazon makes it so easy to order. But I'm not copping for Amazon because we're talking about strikes and workers right now.
You know how I feel about Jeff Bezos.
Yep, we not.
That's kind of how I feel about Walmart. They do got a Target here. I could go to Target.
You could go to Target.
They seem
Target is
decent
nice.
out there.
Target is nice.
They're high. But anyway.
No, they ain't. Not really. They ain't that high. You just think they high, but they not high. But
they ain't everybody high.
Yeah, everybody's high. Good. Let's just get high. You ready for this joke today? This joke was supposed to be last week's joke.
Is this one came from submitted by anyone?
No, this is mine. I've been holding on to this one.
Is yours.
Yeah, I wanted to do this one a few weeks ago. You'll see why here in just a second. Okay, you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay. Where do football players go when they need a new uniform?
Where do football players go? Where do football players go when they need a new uniform?
New Jersey.
New Jersey. Man, get your ass out of here with that bull. Hey,
New Jersey.
Y'all be good. Y'all be good. If you can't be good at it.